Today is the day after the Fed announcement. So we are looking at a possibility of still volatility. People are still trying to digest the news that came out yesterday. It's very difficult to determine how people feel about the news, but what you have to do is watch the market's reactions, and that is what we're about to do. First, we start with the S&P 500. I'm going to pull a chart up for each one so you guys can kind of see what's been going on. The S&P 500 took a huge dip yesterday, and now it's kind of balancing in the middle. And then today, it's starting to rally, possibly trying to take out that high. That's an interesting phenomenon in trading, and that is sometimes the market spikes down in order to turn around and spike up. Sometimes that's people trying to get in some really good prices on long positions, and then they start buying because the news works in their favor after they decided that it's good news or not. Next, we go to the Dow Jones futures. It is doing similar to the same thing. The market has gone down. It went into a sideways movement overnight, and now there's some positive sentiment coming in. Looking at the retracements for this one, it's close to a 50% retracement. Let's draw one. New drawing. And we start from here. We come down to here, and we're right at a 61% retracement. We're a little bit higher than that. So that definitely shows that the market is trying to do a pullback of 100%. Typically, it'll stop exactly at 61 if the market is continuing that trend down. Then we go to the NASDAQ. Today, the NASDAQ has been outpacing everyone. He has decided that he wants to take out the high from yesterday, and he was going sideways overnight. And then this morning, like a rocket ship, it took off. There isn't a lot of news supporting it, but it is definitely something that people feel is a positive effect of the new Fed interest rate cut. So now let's go through our other internals. And so making sure that we go back over it, the S&P 500 is up 0.85%. The Dow Jones is up 0.85%. The NASDAQ is up 1.61%. All of them very bullish signals. The banking index is down 0.31%. This is definitely a strange occurrence, so that contradiction is something to watch out for. The semiconductors up 1.7% in line with the NASDAQ. The security brokers are down 0.22. Once again, opposite to what's going on, so something to keep in mind. Maybe there's an undertow trying to turn the market around soon. Then we have the fear index. The VIX is showing a negative 12%. That is definitely saying that people are willing to put risk on the table. So that means they're less fearful. The number isn't as significant when the VIX is down to 4.09, but it does give us insight into the fact that people are a little bit risk tolerant. Then we go to the advancers. They're at 1771. The decliners are at 1042. We still haven't reached our 2-to-1 ratio. So that's a little bit of a neutral signal for us. Even though the market's up, there's something that's still a little neutral. We would want this to be 3-to-1 if the market really was trying to do a rally. And if it does do a rally, we'll see that number change to a 3-to-1. Then our up volume is 110,000 compared to our down volume, which is 98,000. Once again, we're looking at something like a 1-to-3 ratio, 1.3-to-1 ratio. And that is also a neutral sign. Treasury notes are down 3.27%. That means people are buying treasuries, significantly buying treasuries to the point in which the interest rates are, the yields are going down. Typically when yields go down, that means people are moving their money out of the riskier assets into long-term treasuries. But maybe there's something going on that's allowing this news to diverge, but we still should keep in mind that this is what's happening. And we can see there's a really significant sell-off in treasuries this morning. So there's the news, and the yield. So there's news that something's happening that we maybe don't understand under the hood. Then the crude has down 3%, which is a significant drop. Probably some news around that too, but we don't care. We're always looking at our technicals. The gold is down 0.9%, also showing a sell-off. And then let's go through our currencies. The euro, pretty much break even against the dollar. The yen, 0.5% down. The Aussie, pretty much break even against the dollar. Pound, pretty much break even against the dollar. And the pound yen is down 0.66%. And for those who don't understand how currency pairs are quoted, the first currency is quoted in the second currency's value. So the pound is quoted in 131.35 yen. That's how that works. So based on everything that we're seeing right now, I would say that the market is in a bullish sentiment today, even though the numbers are negative, and it's trying to still figure out which way it wants to go. There is one more piece of news coming on Friday. It's about unemployment and new jobs. Sometimes that gives people great insight into what's going on and what the Feds might do later on in the future. And just to be thorough, let's go look at the daily on the Dow Jones. The daily is showing that there was a huge sell-off yesterday, and now it's trying to do a reversal. If it accomplishes that reversal, we really can expect a nice breakout to the top side, because that means everyone is in agreement that the market, the news that came out yesterday is actually good news. And then going to the hourly is also showing that the market is ready to reverse that full trend. So we'll keep our eyes out for that. As normal, the Fed week is always a indecisive week. So if you're going to get in, make sure you keep your stops close. Make sure you find ways to get in that make sense, because we're not psychics, and be safe out there. So happy trading, traders, and I'll talk to you guys later on.